The All Blacks have revealed a powerful-looking lineup for their upcoming Greatest Rivalry tour clash against the Sharks in Durban, and the selection from head coach Dave Rennie has immediately raised expectations around what New Zealand can produce in their second match of the South African tour. After a 38-21 victory over the Stormers in Cape Town, the All Blacks have made a significant number of changes, bringing several experienced stars back into the starting side while also giving two players the opportunity to make their international debuts from the bench. The selection is particularly interesting because it shows exactly how Dave Rennie is trying to balance rotation, player development, match fitness, and preparation for the much bigger challenges still ahead on this tour. 7 players who featured against the Stormers will get another opportunity to impress, with Sam Derry, Kyle Preston, Asafo Amua, and Caleb Clark all moving into the starting lineup after making appearances from the bench in Cape Town, while Ali Norris, Pacilio Tosi, and Ethan Blackadder remain involved as replacements. But the biggest story is the return of several first-choice players, and that could make this All Blacks team look very different once the match gets underway. Damian McKenzie, Jordie Barrett, Quinn Tupaea, Ruben Love, Luke Jacobson, Tupou Vaa'i, Fletcher Newell, and Ethan de Groot are among the players returning to the starting 15, creating a combination that looks significantly more experienced and physically imposing on paper. For Rennie, however, this is not simply about selecting the strongest possible team for one individual match. The All Blacks are using these games to build towards the rugby's Greatest Rivalry series, and managing workloads could be just as important as winning each fixture. That makes the selection against the Sharks particularly fascinating because New Zealand appear to have enough depth to rotate important players without completely weakening the side. The Sharks, meanwhile, face their own selection challenge, with several Springboks unavailable as they make their way back to South Africa following their Argentina campaign. That means J.P. Peterson has named a largely second-string Sharks lineup, although there is one name on the bench that has attracted plenty of attention: former All Blacks great Mare Nonu. His inclusion adds an intriguing storyline to the contest and could provide an experienced presence later in the game if he gets onto the field. From the Sharks' perspective, the challenge is clear. They will be facing an All Blacks side that has brought a number of its established players back into the starting lineup, and New Zealand will be looking to improve on some of the areas that were less convincing against the Stormers. The first match produced 6 All Blacks tries and a comfortable 38-21 scoreline, but the performance also contained moments of inaccuracy and discipline issues that Rennie will want to see corrected. The Sharks game, therefore, becomes another opportunity to build consistency while giving players valuable minutes in combinations that could become important later in the tour. One of the most significant stories from the selection is the appointment of Luke Jacobson as captain. It is a major moment for the Chiefs forward, who has increasingly become an important part of Rennie's plans. His leadership has been recognized by the head coach, who believes Jacobson has the respect of his teammates and the ability to lead through his actions on the field. Taking charge of the All Blacks for the first time is a significant achievement, particularly during a tour where every match carries added importance. Jacobson will start at open-side flanker in a powerful back row alongside Tupou Vaa'i and number 8 Wallace Sititi, giving New Zealand a combination that offers physicality, mobility, and plenty of ball-carrying ability. The back row could be one of the most important areas of the match because the All Blacks will want to establish control around the breakdown while also giving their backs quality possession. If New Zealand can generate quick ball and maintain forward momentum, it could create opportunities for a backline that contains several dangerous attacking players. The return of Ruben Love at fly half is another selection decision worth watching closely. Love impressed during the opportunities he received earlier in the season, and this match gives him another chance to develop his understanding with the players around him. His performance will be particularly interesting because the All Blacks are continuing to build depth and competition in their back line, and every starting opportunity gives players a chance to strengthen their case for future selection. Outside him, the midfield combination of Jordie Barrett and Quinn Tupaea provides a mixture of experience, physicality, and attacking ability. That pairing could play a major role in determining how effectively New Zealand are able to move the ball into wider areas. Another player attracting attention is Faa'i Finianganofo, who gets an opportunity to show that his Super Rugby Pacific try-scoring form can translate successfully to the international stage. With competition for the All Blacks wing positions remaining strong, performances like this can be important. Finianganofo does not need to force the game or try to prove everything in one night. Instead, the key will be whether he can make smart decisions, finish opportunities when they appear, and contribute consistently within the team's attacking structure. The depth available on the bench also gives Rennie plenty of options as the match progresses. Pasilio Tosi, Ethan Blackadder, Cam Roigard, Tomosai Tavitavanawai, and Emini Narawa are among the players waiting for their opportunity, and that could become significant during the final stages of the contest. Fresh legs can change the rhythm of a match, especially when the opposition begins to tire, and the All Blacks have plenty of pace and energy available among their replacements. One of the most interesting decisions is the decision to start Kyle Preston at scrum half while keeping Cam Roigard in reserve. Preston, who has 2 international caps, has been waiting for an extended opportunity to show what he can do, and this match gives him exactly that platform. It also makes sense from a workload perspective to avoid giving Roigard unnecessary minutes when the coaching staff have a much longer campaign in mind. Roigard is considered an important part of New Zealand's future and their plans for the Greatest Rivalry series, so managing his workload could prove valuable. His potential introduction later in the match could also give the All Blacks another attacking option when spaces begin to appear. The timing of this decision becomes even more relevant following the injury news surrounding Billy Proctor, who has been ruled out of the tour. Losing an important squad member naturally puts more pressure on the remaining midfield and backline options, which means Rennie will want to avoid unnecessary injuries wherever possible. This is where squad depth becomes crucial. The All Blacks are not simply preparing for the Sharks. They are preparing for a demanding sequence of matches, and the coaching staff need to make decisions that protect the wider group while still maintaining competitive intensity. That balancing act is one of the central themes of this tour. New Zealand needs strong performances to build confidence, but they also need to ensure their leading players arrive at the biggest matches fresh and ready. The Sharks, meanwhile, have an opportunity of their own. Although they may not have their full Springbok contingent available, matches against the All Blacks provide valuable experience for players looking to establish themselves at the highest level. Facing a strong New Zealand lineup can expose weaknesses, but it can also reveal which players are capable of responding to pressure and competing against international quality opposition. For J.P. Peterson and his coaching staff, the challenge will be to keep the Sharks disciplined, competitive, and composed throughout the match. The All Blacks will likely look to control territory, build pressure through their forwards, and then use their attacking talent when opportunities open up. But after the Stormers match, Dave Rennie will also be looking for greater accuracy and consistency. The scoreline against the Stormers was comfortable, yet the performance showed that New Zealand still have areas to improve. Against the Sharks, the goal will not simply be to score more points. It will be about building a more complete performance, reducing unforced errors, and creating stronger combinations across the field. For supporters, that makes this match more than just another fixture on the tour schedule. It is another glimpse into how Dave Rennie is shaping this all-black squad and how different combinations might develop before the biggest tests arrive. The return of experienced players, the first captaincy opportunity for Luke Jacobson, the continued development of Ruben Love, the starting opportunity for Kyle Preston, and the potential impact of Cam Roigard from the bench all give the match several storylines to follow. And then there is Mare Nonu, whose presence among the Sharks' replacements adds another layer of interest for rugby fans. Ultimately, the All Blacks enter this contest with a strong-looking lineup and plenty of depth. But the real test will be how well that talent comes together on the field. Dave Rennie has made it clear through his selections that he is thinking beyond one game, and the combination of rotation, player development, and preparation will continue to shape his decisions throughout the tour. The Sharks will be determined to make the contest competitive, while New Zealand will want to show that the lessons from Cape Town have been taken on board. With the major rugby's greatest rivalry battles still ahead, every performance matters, every selection provides information, and every minute gives Rennie another chance to understand which players can deliver when the pressure rises. The Sharks clash therefore becomes an important chapter in the All Blacks South African tour, and all eyes will be on whether this power-packed New Zealand side can turn its potential on paper into a disciplined and convincing performance on the field. The All Blacks